There have been constant reset wars since the fall of Rome, and civilization was much more advanced then. Kingdoms developed organic drone armies and drone workforces. Look. Organic AI, aka slaves. The slave armies eventually revolted. The Huns extorted Rome and were a big contributor of the fall. This was a big part of the migration period where barbarians took over Europe. These are all invasive barbarians. These are not Aboriginal Europeans. War is sexual. It always ends up in crossbreeding. War means confusion, and genetic confusion is a big part of that. Charlemagne is the barbarian king that modern Europeans descend from. Look. That is, of course, if he actually existed. He might just be a concept for the barbarian takeover or represent a group of people. As you can see, the timeline never adds up, and there's much more than 300 years being added. Look. Charlemagne was a barbarian related to the Normans. The fallen Anglos and other barbarians took over brown-skinned Britain, and Britain became completely normalized in the Norman conquest. A drone or clone takeover. That's why Ben Franklin said Europe is swarthy and the drones or clones were the minority by the late 1700s. Then we get the Crusades because the so-called Holy Land is a major choke point for trade, followed by all these other reset wars. Just constant reset wars. It's really been a constant world war for hundreds of years. And the English paid the Prussians to fight France to destroy France's wealth. This made England the superpower of the world. The Revolutionary Wars brought us conscription and total war, which means they started drafting people and destroying everything, not just military installations. The Civil War is a great example of total war. This wasn't a war, they were just destroying the history. Then more reset wars. The revolutions across Europe in 1848 were slave uprisings. It was an attempt to push out the remaining quadroon and mulatto-looking leadership. And again, we have this theme of controlling the supposed Holy Land choke point. That's all the Crimean War was, a choke point war. Same wars being fought today. The 1848 slave uprisings or revolutions are what caused the Franco-Prussian War. This is what caused World War I. World War II is an extension of World War I. The Franco-Prussian War set up the scramble for Africa. A Prussian and a Belgian carved up Africa, setting the stage for World War I. They reset Europe, Asia, and Africa, and they were all selling opium together. And everybody in World War I was cousins. The Bolsheviks reset Russia, and Lawrence of Arabia reset the Middle East. So Britain and France carve up the Middle East so there will be perpetual conflict. So World War II starts in Poland to get Prussia back. And it's funny, the English are just Germans. World War I and II set up the wars of 47 and 48, which are the same wars as today. Then they collapse China into communism to set it up to be a rival today. Then we get dozens of isn't real wars. Look. Which brings us to today. These are mass cullings and financial reset wars. World War has slowed down but has never stopped. These wars are used to control the breeding and general flow of creativity.